I said to him, George, I've had you up to here. I've had him up to there. But he is the level of anger and hatred. I say, what the hell? We want to have a country with low taxes, great education. We want to have the strongest military. We want to have no regulation. We want to have a border that's absolutely powerful. And we want to have fair elections, and the rest of it, it's all common sense. And they hate us, these people back here. They hate us at levels that nobody's ever seen before. And there's only one reason I can think of, maybe two. They're either incompetent or they hate our country. And there is a third reason, and I hate to mention it. They're trying to get these people signed up to vote. That could be it, too. And I hope that's not it. And I know your governor is working hard on this. I think your governor, lieutenant governor, and attorney general, they're not going to let it happen in your state. They're not going to let it happen. And hopefully no other governor is going to let it happen, including Democrats, but they do let it happen. Because the only way they can get elected is to cheat. The only way, when you have open borders, when you have high interest rates, high tax, you know they want to quadruple your taxes. They want to increase your taxes at levels never seen before. I've never heard this. You know, as a person growing up, politicians always said we're going to reduce your taxes, right? You couldn't get elected if you said it. They say we're going to increase it by 4 times, your taxes. And they get votes? They get votes because they cheat. They cheat like hell, and don't let anyone convince you. Hey, look, they indict me over saying it. You know, when they said they won in 2016, nobody got indicted. Maxine Waters, look at her, what she says, what a fresh mouth. But Hillary Clinton, all of these people, but absolutely nobody has a problem. But when a Republican said the election's rigged, they want to put them in the electric chair, you know. We have 2 standards, and we're gonna change that, and we're gonna change it fast. We're gonna change it fast. So we're gonna run a country, and we're conservative, generally speaking, in this group. But I'll tell you what, we have a lot of Democrats. Who's a Democrat that likes Trump in this room, in this era? We have a lot of people. We have a. He goes, let's go, Brandon. That's great. Now we have a lot of Democrats that are coming over because really we're the party of common sense. We're a party of common sense. We want to have that strong military. We have to. I totally rebuilt the military. All of the things that we did, that's what they want. The greatest economy in the history of our country is what we had, and people want to go back. So I ask you to do this. Get out and vote. Don't let them cheat. You watch that vote and watch it all the way. Don't let them cheat. Don't let them do anything. There are a lot of very dishonest people. Now, we had a governor that was obviously not very good. Now we have a great governor. You have a Republican governor who's doing, he's doing a great job. The only way they can beat us is to cheat. That's the only way they're going to. We're not going to let it happen because we're going to make our country great again. We're going to make our country greater than ever before. It's going to be special, and the world is going to look up to us with respect. They're not going to be laughing at us. They right now are laughing at us. The world is laughing at us. They're not going to be laughing. They respected our country. Viktor Orban, the great Prime Minister of Hungary, strong country, took no illegal aliens, none, 0. Helps out with Ukraine because their border, they're right there. But he made a statement the other day. He said, they said, what's going on? The whole world is collapsing. He said, the only thing that's going to save the world is Donald Trump has to get reelected as president, and the whole world is going to be saved because China respected him, Russia respected him, everybody listened to him. He was the guy. He actually said he was the boss. Everybody listened. And I'll tell you, if it doesn't happen, you're headed to World War III. You are closer right now to World War III than you've ever been. And this is no longer army tanks going back and forth shooting World War II, World War. These are nuclear weapons, the likes of which and the power of which has never ever been seen before. So again, I want to thank you all. I want to thank all the celebrities from being here. And we have great celebrities. Marjorie, thank you for coming up from Georgia. Get out and vote. You have a big voting day tomorrow. Get out and vote. And you have some unbelievable people. Just get out and you vote. And I will see you soon. We're going to spend a lot of time in this state. If we win Nevada, we win the whole thing. We win the whole thing. That's so nice. Thank you. I mean, I'm looking back there as far as the eye can see. Get out, vote. We're going to make America great again, greater than ever before, and we're going to do it fast. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you, everybody. 20,000 people showed up. There's never been anything like this, but it's great to be back in the beautiful state. You know the state. We love it. And you always have to say it correctly. Nevada, you got to call it Nevada. With thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots, and that's what you are. With your help, we're going to win Nevada. We're going to defeat your Biden-loving radical left Senator Jackie Rosen, who's terrible. By the way, she's a terrible senator. We're going to knock off the Biden crime family as a Biden family of crime, including the fact that they've weaponized the Department of Justice like has never happened in this country. We're going to end the weak and failed regime of crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of our country, and we're going to make America great again. For 3.5 years, the people of Nevada have had a...
Ever heard of white gold? That's what they call lithium.
What he's done. Did you see the other day, came out with a little plan? Oh, let's make it a little bit tougher because he's getting killed in the poll. We're leading here by like 12 points, you know that. All we have to do is stop the steal, and we have it made. Just stop the steal. We can't let that happen again. Last week, Crooked Joe signed an executive order that is pro-invasion, pro-child trafficking, pro-woman trafficking, pro-human trafficking, and pro-drug dealers. It's a pro-drug dealer bill. It's weak. It's ineffective. It's bullshit what he signed. That's turning out to be like a deplorable. Remember deplorable when Hillary said deplorable? She said deplorable, and that was not good. That was not a good word to use. This word seems to be catching on a little bit, but in a much more positive way than deplorable. That was not good. She actually said deplorable and irredeemable. Do you remember? And I heard it. And I said, wow, that irredeemable is really a bad word, and it didn't catch on. What caught on was deplorable. So what the hell do I know about politics, right? Millions of people will continue pouring in, and they're coming right through the border like they have never come through before. What he signed means nothing. In fact, it makes it easier. In my opinion, it opens the border still further. We have people coming into our country. We're going to end up making, and I say this and I say it all the time, November 5th will be the most important day in the history of our country. If Joe Biden truly wanted to sign an executive order to stop the invasion, right now all he needs to do is say, I hereby immediately reinstate every single border policy of a gentleman named Donald J. Trump. You know, he doesn't need anything. He could have done this. He's a little late, by the way. Number one, he's late. Number two, it's meaningless what he signed. It's just a PR ploy, as usual. It's disinformation, misinformation, talk. They talk as our country goes down the tubes. Less than 4 years ago, I handed Crooked Joe the strongest, most secure border in the history of our country. We never had a border like that. We built 571 miles of border wall. It was unbelievable. We ended all catch and release. We had the remain in Mexico, safe third country, And then we had also Title 42. You remember, everything was so good. If this guy just, goes to the beach all the time, somebody thinks he looks good in a bathing suit. I don't think so. And he has that little chair that weighs about like 7 ounces. It's meant so children can lift it and very old people can lift it. And you know what? He's not old. He's incompetent. He's not old. He's not old. I know people that are 88, 89, 92. A man named Bernie Marcus, founder of Home Depot. Bernie Marcus is 95, I think. And he's 100. You talk to him, he's 100% sharp. This guy, there's just something missing. And there always has been, by the way. He always had the worst and dumbest foreign policy. There always has been. Under the Trump administration, if you crossed our border illegally, we caught you and we brought you back. We took you back from where you came. It was very simple. We had the greatest. Think of it. All he had to do is leave my people in place, leave everybody in place, and he wouldn't be going through this right now. I think it's one of his many big problems. I think the Afghan situation was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country, actually. He has a lot of bad days. I could name them, but we don't have enough time. We only have a few hours. We don't have enough time. And now, by the way, it's 110, but it doesn't feel it to me, right? So we'll stay out here for a little while. If anybody gets tired, you'll let me know. And if anybody goes down, if you start going down, we have people, they'll pick you up right away. They'll throw water. You know, they were so worried. Everybody was so worried yesterday about you. And they never mentioned me. I'm up here sweating like a dog. Secret Service said, we have to make sure everyone's safe. I said, what about me? Oh, we never thought of that. They don't think about me. I'm working my ass off. I'm working hard. This is hard work. Front row Joe. Front row Joe. Under Biden, the invasion is just a disaster what's happened. It's never happened like this. In less than 4 years, Crooked Joe has imported more illegal aliens into our country than at any other time in the history of our country, times maybe 50. There's never been anything like this happening to our country. They're changing the fabric of our country. They're destroying our country. They're doing things that are unthinkable. This open border, so many bad things, but this open border situation where you're allowing millions and millions of people to flood our country, we can't handle it. No country could handle it. It's not sustainable. The entire world is emptying their prisons and jails, insane asylums and mental institutions. They're emptying them out into your state, but they're emptying out into all 50 states. They're coming in, and there's no such thing as a border state anymore. That border is so meaningless. They just walk right through. They go right through the so-called border states, and they end up in Iowa. They end up in Idaho. Remember when Joe said it's great to be in Idaho, and he was in Iowa? He always does that. If I ever did that, it would be over. They'd say that's the end of his political career. He's cognitively impaired. No. You know, I had a second test. I aced it. I aced both of them. Not easy to ace. Biden should have a cognitive test, number one. They say it's unconstitutional. That's a good excuse. He should have a cognitive test, and before the debate in 2 weeks, he should take a drug test, because I'm willing to take one. So Nevada's being turned into a dumping ground, and you are. The whole country is being turned into an absolute dumping ground for what's happening. In Venezuela, here's a statistic that's a terrible statistic. So countries are dumping all of their criminals into our country, right? And also some people that are not criminals but are not productive. They're not going to be productive. They're not exactly going to make America great again. And they're coming in here in huge waves in the caravans, a name I think I came up with. I came up with a lot of good names, like Crooked Joe. It used to be Crooked Hillary. I took it off. Now we call her Beautiful Hillary, because we don't care anymore about that. We call it, because what was better, Crooked Joe or Sleepy Joe? Okay, let's have a poll. I'll change it. He's both. He's both. He's crooked. Okay, wait. We'll do a poll. We'll go Sleepy first, and then we'll go crooked. Which is a better name for Joe Biden? Sleepy Joe or Crooked Joe?
Upgrade your truck, Jeep, or Bronco with over 1 million parts and accessories and bring your truck to life.
And they dumped them into a place called the United States of America. They're down to about 40% left, and they're all coming. I can't believe it took them so long. If I were the heads of one of the many, and this is happening all over the world, if I were the heads of one of the countries, I would have been totally 100% by now. Their crime rate they just announced is down 72%. So their crime. So next year what we'll do is we'll meet in Venezuela because it's going to be a lot safer. Unless one thing happens, unless you make me president, in which case we'll be very safe. So last year, it's terrible. You know, this is as far as the, look at all the fake news back there. Look at all the fake news. They are fake. They are fake. Did you see Biden yesterday in Normandy, and he was in France? He embarrassed us so badly, right? Does everyone know that? He embarrassed us so badly, it was terrible. It's just terrible. This is not a representative for what used to be the greatest country. This country is really, we are a nation in major decline, and we're going to stop it immediately. Last year, a father from Pasadena, Texas, came home from work to find that his 11-year-old daughter was strangled to death. She had been sexually assaulted, and her body had been stuffed into a trash bag, thrown in a hamper. He came home to find this, put under the bed, found his daughter. They were looking for his daughter. Everyone was looking. She was dead under a bed, cut up. Charged with the murder was an illegal alien monster who had just infiltrated our border, released by Crooked Joe Biden. Came in through the Biden administration. You know, it was very hard to get in through the Trump administration. I mean, you're never going to have it perfect, but we had it about as close as you're going to get. We had the best border in the history of our country. We had the least drugs coming in over 34 years. And now the drugs are pouring into our country. But they let this monster loose to prey on innocent children. He'll probably have a lawyer. He'll get out. Other people don't get out. They indict guys like Trump for what? The election was rigged. The election was a rigged election. Oh, let's indict him for saying that. Whereas you got guys like this. You got guys that kill people, and they're fine. They're just fine. Now, we're screwed up as a country, and we're going to unscrew it very quickly. It's going to take place very quickly. And then you had the horrific case of Laken Riley. I got to know the parents well, the family well. The young nursing student, top of her class. She was from Georgia, and she was savagely beaten, horribly beaten, killed. And Joe set loose this monster into our country, wouldn't have come into the country under us. And then on top of everything else, when I met the family, they were so beautiful, so incredible. And Joe Biden couldn't pronounce her name. He talked about her in Congress, and he was only forced to talk about her, but he apologized to her killer for calling him illegal. He called him an illegal alien, and everybody got angry at him, so he started apologizing, not to the family of Laken Riley, but he apologized to the killer because he called him a killer. This is where we are. Under the Trump administration, we will not be apologizing for all of these people that are coming in illegally, because there won't be many people that come in illegally anymore. They'll come in, but they'll come in legally. You'll be able to hire them, and you'll be able to work with them. But we want people to come into our country. They have to come in legally, okay? So with his border nightmare. Joe Biden is also waging an all-out war on the workers of America, especially African Americans and Hispanic Americans and African Americans are the suffering most with this incredible illegal alien group that's coming in and staying at our luxury hotels. And you know, they're being put up in hotels. Some of them are luxury hotels. And by the way, just in case you're wondering, I got no teleprompters, and I haven't from the beginning. These people. That probably means we'll make a better speech. No, I got no teleprompter. You know, I pay all this money to teleprompter people, and I'd say 20% of the time they don't work. They don't work. The thing's waving around. They can't tie it a little bit tighter. I'm trying to look at. So we're all in this together, everybody. We're all in this together. Just a mess. I had one in Ohio where we had 45-mile-an-hour winds. You were there. This is a front row Joe. He's at everyone. This guy, wouldn't it be incredible? He's gone to 250 if he voted for Biden. He's going to vote for Biden. I don't think so. I think it would be suicide before Biden, right? And then we have the wall. We call him the human wall. He's been here so much. And these are great Americans, you know. They're great, great Americans. But we had one in Ohio where that teleprompter was like the sail on a sailing boat. We had 50-mile-an-hour winds, almost 50. And Bernie Moreno, I had to go up and do it for Bernie. And before I started my speech, as I was walking off, as I'm coming down the runway, walking off the runway onto the stage, the teleprompters got blown to pieces. We had 60,000 people. And I was standing up there all by myself. And I said, we got a problem. I got no teleprompter. I got no notes. And we had one of the greatest days, don't you think? You think Biden could do that? I don't think so. And by the way, and Bernie won his primary, and he won it convincingly. So we obviously did a good job, but it was good. And now I think he's going to beat a man named Brown, a senator named Brown. You have a good man named Brown right here, you know. Very good. They have a man that's not so good. They have a man that's not so good. And I think Bernie Moreno in Ohio is going to win, but it's the same thing. So these things are virtually useless. But I'll refer to them every once in a while for notes. It is crazy. The illegal immigrants are turning, and they're turning at a level that nobody's ever seen before. They're fighting our families. They're totally destroying our black population. They're totally destroying our Hispanic population. And you know what else they're destroying? And for you, it means a little bit less, but it means quite a bit in this state. They're killing unions. They're killing unions because the unions are not able to survive. They're not able to survive this onslaught. It's making them impossible. They've worked hard. They've worked.
The most meaningful evolution begins inside. Alive in time. Grand Seiko Evolution 9.
They're down 6% under Crooked Joe. And I thought I'd be wilting up here. The only thing that pisses me off are the teleprompters. It's so much easier. The only one that can't read a teleprompter is Joe Biden. It doesn't help him. But I thought what I'd do is I'd read, if you want. Should I do it? Should I do it? Because it's about the border. You know, in 2016, we had a great campaign, and it was mostly about the border. Marjorie would tell you, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's here someplace. It was about the border. Where the hell is Marjorie? Right? It was about the border. Great. She's not from this particular section, but they love her in this section too. But it was about the border, and I did such a good job that in 2020, where we got millions of more votes than we did in 2016, but I couldn't talk about the border. But now, if you look at it, what's happened is unbelievable. What's happened with respect to the border, this border is 20 times worse. 2016 was terrible, but this is a different league. This is a different level. This is the worst border in the history of the world. There's never been no third world country